It was Halloween night, and Emily decided to take a walk in the woods. She loved the fresh autumn air and the crunch of leaves under her feet. But as she went deeper into the forest, she felt uneasy. The trees seemed to tower over her, casting eerie shadows that danced in the moonlight. The rustling of the leaves sounded like a whisper, and Emily couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She tried to convince herself that it was just her imagination, but then she heard a twig snap. Emily whirled around, but there was no one there. She started walking faster, her heart pounding wildly in her chest. As she walked, the trees seemed to close in around her, and the darkness grew thicker. Emily realized she was lost. She had no idea which way to go to get back to civilization. Just when she was about to panic, Emily saw a light in the distance. She headed towards him, hoping that he would lead her to a safe place. As she got closer, Emily saw that the light was coming from a small hut. She hesitated for a moment, but then decided to knock on the door. A voice came from inside. "Who is there?" "It is me, Emily. I got lost in the woods. Can you help me?" she answered. The door opened and an elderly woman stood in front of her. She had a kind face, but Emily couldn't help feeling a little awkward. An elderly woman invited her in, offering warm food and a place to sleep. Emily gratefully agreed. While they were eating, an elderly woman told Emily about the history of the hut. It once belonged to a group of witches who were rumored to perform dark rituals in the forest. Emily didn't believe in witches or magic, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong with the old woman. Her eyes seemed to sparkle in the firelight, and her smile was a little too wide. After dinner, an elderly woman escorted Emily to her room. It was cozy and warm, and Emily was grateful for a comfortable place to sleep. But when she was lying in bed, she heard strange noises outside her door. It sounded like footsteps, but when she opened the door, there was no one there. Emily tried to calm down, but then she heard a voice whispering her name. She sat up in bed, her heart pounding. Suddenly, the room was filled with bright light. Emily closed her eyes, but when she opened them again, she saw a group of witches standing in front of her. They giggled and chanted, and Emily realized she was trapped in the cabin. She stumbled upon a coven of witches who intended to sacrifice her to their dark god. Emily tried to escape, but the witches were too strong. They tied her up and began to cast their dark spells. When Emily felt the cold steel of the knife on her skin, she realized that she had made a fatal mistake. She went into the woods on Halloween night and never came back from there. The witches' Sabbath continued its ritual, their laughter echoing through the forest. Emily's fate was sealed, and she became just another victim of the dark magic that lurked in the shadows of the forest.